So tonight is going to be a whole roasted chicken. If you look over here, I've got just a poultry blend you can find in the store of ours. It's just some thyme, rosemary, a little sage. I've got a wedge of a lemon left over for some cocktail making that I did the other day. And this is going to go inside the cavity of the bird. It's going to help perfume it. And then over here is just a little kosher salt. And then because I like doing things a little different sometimes with my chicken, a very simple way to sort of spruce it up is this is a little Creole spice that we're going to be trussing it as well. And what we do when we truss the birds, we have this butcher's twine you can buy at the supermarket. It'll keep the bird in a shape where everything sort of cooks evenly, the skin is all exposed. First thing we're going to do is actually we're going to season the inside of the cavity of the bird generously. We're also going to add some of the Cajun spice mix in there. Got our herbs right here. And then this lemon as well. And that's the inside of the bird. Butcher's twine. And we're going to go underneath the chicken and go up to its armpits. We're going to cross the string. We're going to pull tightly to hold the skin of the breast over the actual meat so it doesn't dry out during cooking. So a decently tight pull there. Then we're going to bring the string around the breast, twisting again, and go underneath what we call the crown. While holding it nice and tight, we'll lift these legs right here, go to the back of the actual legs, and we're going to pull up over, and then we're going to cross. And then, keeping this nice and tight, we're going to carefully just turn the chicken upside down and do what we call a butcher's knot. 1 twist, 2 twist, 3 twist. You can pull nice and tight. The reason why we did the 3 twists is now when I let go, the string's not pulling off of itself. So on top of that, we'll just tie a traditional knot. And just for safe measures, 1 more. Then we'll cut the excess string off. And this is our trussed chicken. We will season it fairly aggressively with salt. Then we'll do our blackening spice as well. And that's it. I'll take my chicken that's been nicely stuffed, trussed, and seasoned. And I have this pan on a very low flame, that way it's not stone cold. So then we'll just take this chicken, exactly how it is, 450-degree oven, and pop it in there. In 1 hour, I've basted this chicken every 15 minutes or so. See a lot of the fat's rendered out of it, which is fantastic. Great color. Skin tore a little bit on the top, which is fine. I did it towards the end. The most important part is that the meat stays nice and juicy. I've temped it right at about 153 degrees, which is a little bit less than what we want, which is fine, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to rest it in this oven with it turned off. That allows it to continue to cook, carry over just a little bit, and also rest at the same time. Always invest in a meat thermometer if you're unsure about cooking chicken. And while the chicken is resting, we're going to get started on our side dish to go with it. We're going to do a nice summer vegetable risotto. So we got some arborio rice here. We have a nice fine dice of garlic and onions here. A blend of mushrooms. You can get these blends at the supermarket. This is just some oyster, shiitake, and cremini, whatever mushrooms you'd like, or of course omit if you don't like. Some nice farmer carrots, just nicely sliced out. Keeping in mind to slice them for the cooking process, we're going to do about 1/4 inch or so, so they don't turn to mush as they cook. Some nice sweet corn is starting to come in. Some grape tomatoes. I've just quartered these. A little parsley, and of course Parmesan cheese as well. So we're gonna get that going while the chicken rests. So in a pot over here, I have some vegetable stock that's I'm keeping nice and hot for the risotto process. You'll see why it's better to keep that hot. I actually made this myself by just all the vegetable trimmings for this dish and just cooking them for about 45 minutes altogether. So over here, we're gonna actually get the risotto started. Generous amount of olive oil in the pan. garlic and onion in. We're going to want to sweat this with no color. Okay, now we're going to add our mushrooms. These are going to shrink up quite a bit. At this point, we're going to add some salt, our boyo rice, and we're also going to add our carrots. We're also going to add a little bit of that blackening spice that we used. We want to toast the rice granules up nicely. So this point we're going to go ahead and add our corn. And we're going to add our hot vegetable stock. 2 ladlefuls at a time. It's important with the risotto to remember to keep everything moving. So now the rice has been going for about 15 minutes. I've been stirring constantly and adding stock as needed. You can see the texture starting to kind of cream up a little bit from the starch. You see when I move that down and the liquid there is starting to look very, very creamy. At this point, we're going to go ahead and add our tomatoes along with another ladle of stock. So at this point, I'm adding the last of the stock. So firstly, we're going to add some butter and a little bit of the chicken fat that I actually got from the pan. We're also going to add some Parmesan. We're just going to grate that in there. And to kill this off, we're going to add just some parsley to it. Now that our chicken is actually rested for a substantial amount of time, so what we want to do now is just take off the string. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to take the leg off of the chicken. Nicely cooked. All right, now that the legs are removed, we're just going to come down to the breast, go straight down the center to where you'll hit the, we'll call the heel bone. We're just going to open it up ever so gently. As you see, it's rested for 30 minutes. It's still piping hot. We're just running the tip of the knife down to get to the joint here where the wing meets. And then we have our breast. And we'll repeat again on this side. And then we're just going to plate it up. I'm just going to lift the wing up a little bit. Carve the breast in half. Just like that. A little bit of fig vincotto, that's a fig vinegar. Finishing salt over the chicken.